So the other day we had the update of 0.4.8 that came out to everybody, and it included a few things that a lot of people hadn't seen. Two of those things are kind of brand new to everybody. One being the oil in the desert biome, and two being the logbook. This brought a lot of interest throughout the community, and honestly, what I've noticed from the community through Twitter, through comments on mine and other people's videos, and through live streams that I've done, the community were a little bit mixed on it. And I'll just walk you through. Mainly the issues that we've got are with the oil that we've got here in the desert biome and the logbook. I'll start with the oil. So a long time ago, you had to harvest oil from the sea, and you could only harvest one oil drop per kind of, I don't know what you call it, the little plume thing where the oil popped out. And people said that this was grindy, and I agree, it was very grindy. In order to get enough oil to give you a decent amount of gas, you had to do a lot of harvesting, and it was taking a lot of time. From that kind of point onwards, the developers of Scrap Mechanic, Axolot and that, turned around and says, okay, so we're going to be doing some tweaks to the oil. And in the test branch, they brought in a little bit of a random number where you could harvest, I think it was up to 4 oil from any one of those pots. So you sometimes you'd get 1, sometimes you'd get 2, sometimes you get 3, and sometimes you'd get 4. This made it a little better. Harvesting oil was still a little bit grindy, but it became slightly more balanced. Again, people were kind of asking for a different way to harvest oil, and Axolot said that they were working on a way, and we haven't heard anything since. That was until this update of 0.4.8 came out, and they said that they had introduced oil to the desert biomes. This in itself brought a lot of interest, shall we say, from the Scrap Mechanic community because of two things. One, every single piece of water in the desert biome turned into oil. This meant a lot of people who had built their bases on nice little bits of desert biome and built a nice little pool using the oasis of water that was available were now stuck with a great big chunk of black tar as a swimming pool. So visually, people weren't very happy. Number two, it's actually kind of game breaking. Because of how easily oil is now to resource, to harvest, it's kind of made a lot of stuff almost... Well, it's kind of broke the game, let's be honest. Because it's just so easy to get now, you just got to find one of these little biomes and then hook up a vacuum pump to a chest and then just go at it. Harvesting oil isn't even an issue anymore, to the point where it's almost too much. Yes, as a community, we wanted a way to get more oil or a more efficient way of harvesting it, but to do this kind of feels like Axolot just forgot that they mentioned that they were going to give us a different way to get oil, and it was kind of a last minute thing. Wasn't put into the test branch. This went straight into vanilla. It wasn't sort of tested. It wasn't put through the community to get some feedback. It's literally, this is what it is. Number two, the issues that a lot of people are having are the logbook, and I'll tell you why that is. If you look in the top left hand corner of my screen, you will notice there is no clock. We don't have a clock anymore. Since the introduction of the logbook, our clock has been moved from up there in the screen to the logbook. So right now, sat in a vehicle, trundling along, I can't open the logbook. I don't know what the time is. The only way that I know what the time is if I get out of the vehicle, open up the logbook, and it is here on our little screen. This tells us what the time is. It's the only way to access it. Again, people aren't happy with this. How are we going to know sort of when the time's happening? How are we going to know when raids are coming in? This kind of thing. Don't get me wrong, I understand that the time of day shifts, and obviously you get sunrise and sunset and all this kind of stuff, but that extra step going in there into the logbook to look for the time is an unnecessary step. It wasn't one that was needed. Why they've had to do that or why they've chosen to do that, nobody knows. Again, wasn't introduced into the test branch first to get any sort of feedback on it. They just decided to go out in vanilla. So obviously with these two little changes, and to a degree they are little changes, to a degree they're big changes, the community isn't particularly pleased with them. Taking the general feedback by them, people are just looking at it and thinking, it's a little bit different. Me personally, I like the idea of harvesting oil to a degree like this. I feel that they should have introduced a new kind of resource node, perhaps, or, you know, a different sort of resource spawn. Instead of just changing all water in desert biomes to oil, I think it was just like a quick cop-out. Potentially is something really easy to change in the files, in the code and that, just to make it like this. But I just I get a feeling that they forgot that they promised people a different way to do it, and that's what they've ended up with. Now, it might in the future work out to be a great way. We just don't know what they're bringing. If there's a way that we need to use more oil, then potentially this is going to kind of become a little bit more balanced. But right now, it's now throwing the balance the other way. Before, it was real difficult. Now it's like too easy to get so much oil in vast quantity. And again, with the time is just, why did they move it? It wasn't needed to be moved. It is now just kind of awkward. It's a slight inconvenience. For me, most of my gameplay is done in the dev mode, and as a result of that, it is always midday. So I'll never know when I'm going to get raided if I plant crops or anything like that. Most of the time I won't get raided. But for people who actually play survival as it's meant to be played, that clock being in the logbook is just going to be unnecessary. We don't need to go into the logbook right now. There's no reason for us to go into the logbook at all. So to go in there just for the time is a waste. It's literally just a waste of time. It's unnecessary. It's completely not needed. And yeah, it was just interesting to see the community's kind of feedback on it. There's a lot of people who want to know why, I guess. I think they could have done both of these things in a slightly better way. Like I say, if I'm sat in my vehicle, I can't even check the time anyway. So I don't know. I think they've kind of maybe took a bit of a hit from feedback in previous updates that they've done on the test server and decided to throw this kind of content out there and hope that it sticks. Along with those two things, you're getting 6 new t-shirts, which I've seen what they look like. I don't have any of the garments right now, so I can't show you on my stuff. But if you look around at some of the bigger guys' scrap mechanic videos, you'll see what those 6 new t-shirts are. And again, they've kind of been left wanting. There's not an awful lot of greatness to them. In terms of visuals, one of them, for example, is a carrot pattern. I guess if you were like Team Carrot or Team Corn, for example, because Sweet Corn is another pattern. If you were like Team Carrot or Team Corn, maybe, but I don't know. Sometimes it's better not to release anything, but fix a lot of the game rather than try and throw something out there and hope that it's good. I hope that whatever they're working on, Chapter 1 or Chapter 2, I don't know what they're calling it now, is going to be a lot better than what they've currently given us. But at the same time, I don't have much hope for it. I like the game, but I do feel that it is dropping off quick. I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of things that we're running out of content to do. And these new little updates don't really add much content to us. So I hope whatever they're working on is a big thing, quite a big deal. But who knows? It's taken them this long to get to where they are now. So I'm just not quite sure what to think. But that's what the community is saying anyway, so it seems. So I just thought I'd share it with you guys. Let me know what you think of the update. I know a lot of people who come to my videos are on vanilla. So you guys are the best source of feedback for me. What do you guys think to the update? Has it brought new lease of life to your game? Has it really kind of not done anything to you? Is it just stuff that you are a little bit not confused with, but you know, maybe unhappy with, or it's not really helped you out much at all? Your feedback would be great to me, but ultimately it's Axolot that need the feedback anyway. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope to see you again next time. Take it easy and bye for now. Bye, guys. Ciao.